Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Seen podcast. And today, as you've seen from the title, we're going to be talking about love bombing. But I'm going to be talking about love bombing from a perspective of, I don't know, it's just like an epiphany kind of thing. It just kind of hit what love bombing really is. And, I'm going to play on some words a little bit, but for the most part, I'm going to be sticking to the theme of love bombing because I'm seeing how we're in a space right now where it's like, first off, let me address what love bombing is. So what people say love bombing is when you flood a motherfucker with emotions, you flood a motherfucker with feelings and care and love and all of this shit, and you like, yeah, I want you to be everything for me, and it feels so real, it feels so good, and things of that nature. In the beginning, then suddenly it stops. But we got to realize what love bombing really is, and that's where this epiphany comes in. Like I was having several conversations with a few people over the last couple of days, and the thing was love bombing. And as like I'm talking and listening to him, because like love bombing is something that I felt in my past, but didn't really know it was love bombing and shit. And motherfucker, I've initiated whole relationships with motherfuckers under the premise of being love bombed, thinking, oh, we're compatible, oh, we work, oh, we just stand a third. And sometimes that's not what it is. Most times that's not what it is. In fact, what it really is a distraction. Love bombing is a form of distraction. And it works so beautifully because it plays on attraction. You feel what I'm saying? Love bombing plays on attraction. And it ultimately leaves you with an ultimatum. You know what I'm saying? Because it floods you so heavy. Now it's like the love bombing that you receive, it's a wild thing. It's a real wild thing because it's like, you fuck around and you're being open and transparent with somebody and they find one way to get in and they like just fucking, I'm going to distract you in such a way that it takes you away from the totality of what a relationship is supposed to be. And it only highlights some of the most important things about you. Now, the one thing about love bombing is it doesn't really reveal the totality of the person that's doing the love bombing. Right? And sometimes we get blinded because we're like, oh, these are the things that I like. These are the things that I like. These are the things that I like. And these are the things you like. And this is the thing that we have in common. But things that you have in common is a full attraction. And a relationship is about how you relate, not necessarily what you have in common. You can have things in common with somebody and still not relate to one another. You feel what I'm saying? Happens all the time. But when that happens, the love bomber typically understands this. The love bomber typically understands that the things we have in common don't make us relate. So I'm going to emphasize and highlight these particular commonalities and overlook everything else. So in the beginning, it's almost like you get to a point where the love bombing seems so real, so genuine, so, past life connections, your soulmates and all of that shit. It's a distraction, my nigga. It's a motherfucking distraction. And if you're not privy to what the fuck the distraction is, you're going to get thrown off. Now, here's the reason why it hits so heavy and why it's so hard and you don't know you're love bombed and you fucked around and get caught up in a whole relationship, because love bombing is appealing distractions. It is not, when we look at distraction, we look at something intentionally trying to throw us off our game. A love bomber will keep you on your game. The love bombing will, in a sense, keep you on the game, but keep you on a game that keeps them in your mind as opposed to focusing on everything else. The reason why I understand this is because I've been love bombed several times in my life. And another thing is when you've been love bombed so much and when love bombing has been in your space, you kind of think that's how relationships are supposed to go. I think I slurred all of those words. You think that's how relationships are supposed to go. I'm not drunk or nothing, but I just felt those words all connected and run together. But when you being love bombed and it's consistent, like all of your life, or in most cases of the relationships that you involve yourself with, you don't really understand that that's not how relationships are developed. Now, when we go back to when we were kids and things change, but that's the way it is for now. When we go back to how we was as kids, that's how our relationship template started, And then when you love bomb, it's out of fear. People who do the love bombing are the people that are out of fear. And people who love bomb need constant reassurance. Like those are some of the key points in it. You could be good and they're love bombing in the sense that they're providing an appealing distraction, but in that distraction, they want to make sure your focus stays on them to maintain the insecurity of not seeing anything else. And we be thinking, oh, we hear it all the time on social media. I want somebody who all about me, this, that, and the third. Oh, nah, I want a motherfucker who can't see anything else. That's a dangerous reality because, again, we normalize it so much that we don't know the negative side of it. We don't even see a negative side of it. You feel me? On one regard, you have the people that are against love bombing, but at the same time, I want somebody who's all about me. I want somebody who's this and the third, and you inviting that shit in and not realizing that this person isn't really attracted to you. They're just providing an appealing distraction. But before we dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at _just_scene_. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSeen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsors of the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsors of the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of the podcast. Not the episode, but the podcast itself. And you know the vibes. Cash App and PayPal are just fine. Ow. And that's that for this. That's that for that. That's this for that, and that's that. Well, how I say it, that's that for this, and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into love bombing, the illusion of attraction. And don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So For Real series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. Ow. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started in it. So I'm going to pick up from where I was at. And y'all, I'm getting back into the flow of the podcast again. I can feel it. It's open now. It's back open. But yeah. So the reason why I was saying this because I was having a conversation about love bombing and shit, and it was like, and I was me when I hear certain shit, I try to come to a consensus of understanding, no matter what it is that I hear. So I'm listening to it, and I'm like, damn, I've been love bombed before. You know what I'm saying? And in love bombing, you got to look at the other side. And here's a reality to it. Some people need to be love bombed, and they're calling it these days pressure, applied pressure. I've learned that some people are actually built for healthy relationships and built to be healthy in relationships. And they don't love bomb people. And they're the people who can go through the progressive states and they can, you know how people's like, yo, you can't go 2 days without talking to me or this, that, and the third. And it's like this, I must not be this, on to the next one. Some people are in that space where they have glorified and magnified attention so much that they need it. And they define their relationships off of the attention that they need. You feel what I'm saying? This is why when you consider quote unquote pressure, it can't be universal. You have to apply pressure. And the pressure is being love bombed by somebody that you want. You feel what I'm saying? We gonna flow. But it's like, I'm watching how the relationship game is playing out and I'm outside. So I'm in a different space where I'm looking and I'm seeing how these relationships are. And it's like approaching women is different. It's different. And being approached is different. This isn't to say I'm putting myself out there to be the prize and all of this other shit. No. But I've learned just stepping back, being out of the game for so long, I got such a clearer vision that it's like, all y'all motherfuckers is love bombers and y'all want to be love bombed. Which is, I want somebody to provide an appealing distraction for me. You feel what I mean? I want you to provide me with an appealing distraction. So much so that I don't have to do anything other than be appealed to. And I was like, so I'm like, you know, where did that come from? You feel what I'm saying? Where did that reality come from? And me personally, I feel like it came from, it comes from abandonment issues. We have no disconnect. We have no connection to humans anymore. Therefore, if you lack the connection, the human connection, you damn sure can't relate to the human. Therefore, you have to provide an appeasing distraction, and that's what we think attraction is. A motherfucker who can, they hype us up, glorify us, and tell us shit. Oh, you're so handsome, you're so beautiful, you're this, that, and the third, and they constantly compliment you and shit. But they constantly compliment you, but they don't compliment you. And I'm gonna say that a different way because you can't really spell words when you're saying them. You feel me? They compliment you, but they don't balance you out. They compliment you with the I, not compliment you with the E. So there's no even flow with that shit. And we get so wrapped up in the compliments with the I that we don't see the compliments with the E. And the compliments with the E never show up because the compliments with the I are so abundant. Oh, you so smart. Oh, you so funny. Oh, you so cute. Oh, you can only compliment a motherfucker so far before you told them everything about themselves. Now, how do you relate to this person as a compliment? That's when the shit start getting shifty and it start getting crazy because now when you start to expose and peel back the layers of the person, it's like you already locked into the fucking relationship. And now you got to quote unquote fight for the relationship. You got to make it work. You got to put in all of this other fucking work and shit. And that shit's stupid and fucking delusional. Because you start off building a relationship where you're not relating to a person. You're building on the appealing. You're building on the appeasement of the distractions that you provide to each other. Most people are coming out of relationships, and like I said, I'm outside, bro, and I've been like this. It's been this way since I was like when I seriously started taking relationships serious when I was, in my early 20s. Everybody's looking for the distraction from everybody's on the rebound looking for the distraction. You feel what I'm saying? And because they're looking for the distraction, they're approaching these situations as, there's like nothing serious that I want to do in this relationship. But I want this relationship to be all about me, tying it back to what I was talking about at the beginning. They're like, I need mine all about me. I need mine all about me. Make sure I don't see nobody else. Constantly distract me. Ain't no relation. Like when I've learned just because of the space that I'm in, when I truly relate to you, nobody can take me off my pivot from that. So you don't have to be in a space where you feel like you fighting for a position, when you feel like you got to compete. But I've learned that people feel like they got to compete because they know they're not as attractive as they think. So they have to provide the appealing distraction. I'm going to say that again. A lot of people know they aren't as attractive to the person that they're looking at as they think. So they provide the appealing distraction. This is not me talking about just from the physical aspect. I'm talking about attraction in the context of relation. A lot of motherfuckers will have that first conversation with a motherfucker and realize, I don't fuck with you. I don't relate with you. I should not even be in your atmosphere. But you allowed me in, so now I have to find a way to distract you. Here's where I was starting to pinpoint those things. People would come into my world and only be able to function within a small regard. And that boxes me in because now I can't expand beyond this box because I'm going to leave you. Because you're not willing to expand, you're just willing to provide an appeasing distraction to me in regard to this. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of times, like I said, because it's an appealing distraction, we don't know that we're being distracted because the person is still telling us the necessary things that kind of give us the boost. But it's like, what are you really contributing to the circumstance? This is kind of deep for me because I'm so glad that I built what I had to build in the solitude of myself because I now know what I didn't have to worry about distractions. You feel what I'm saying? And I knew how easily I could be taken off of my pivot. But at the same time, this revelation didn't happen to me. Like I said, I just had this download of reaffirm for me because of the conversations I had over the last couple of days. But just listening to people and it's like how quick they want to move. A lot of people be thinking, oh, you trying to move quick because you rushing and this, that, and the third. No, time is an illusion, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But when you're tying it into love bombing and you're tying it into the appealing distraction, a lot of people want to lock you down before you realize that they're not supposed to be in your space. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes people have provided such an appealing distraction to us that they're still in our spaces and we don't even know why we're being anchored down. We don't know why we're being anchored down. We just know that this person is here and we're struggling and we're having issues or we're having stagnant movement in life and we're not having much fluidity and flow because we also don't have anything to compare it to. Because like I said, you'll get those people who I got to make sure that you see me all the time. And I'm saying it like this because this was one of the things I had to come to terms with a lot of the relationships that I was having over the last couple of years. I was struggling. I have no means or no desire to distract you from anything. You feel what I'm saying? But I kept running into women who, and there was almost a direct correlation, a 1-to-1. They would be just coming out of a relationship, just saying that they were done with this particular man, and they wanted to fuck with me. I'm single, baby. So there's nobody that I have to worry about distracting me or being distracted from. So I could really focus on the whole totality of you. But they will come into the space, find one small thing. Oh, you're like this. And then they stick to that. And it's like every conversation we have is about that. Every conversation we have is about that. Everything we go over is about that. And it seems good at first because you're thinking, but the type of person that I am, and this is how I was able to get this message so I can give it back to the world. I'm so eclectic that there's not one thing you can keep me in. It's going to fuck with you. Because it's like, if this is how I have to compartmentalize you, then this is where we're going to stay. But I can't stay here because I'm so well-rounded on a multitude of things that shit doesn't bother me. You feel what I'm saying? But now when you built in a space where you're dealing with people coming off of the rebound, trying to quote unquote get it right, trying to motherfucking erase and forget about the last person. Niggas really have a motto where they say the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else. They want an appealing distraction. Now it becomes so much harder because the standard starts to rise. The standard starts to rise because they dealt with more attractive people. They're like if you actually progress in your relationship game, you deal with more attractive people, more successful people, and things of that nature. So the distractions have to be higher, but there still is no relation. Uncle Rock, it's no relation. No, I'm bullshit. But there's still no relation to the situation. So are you really attracted to this person? Because here's what we have to understand about attraction. Just because we provide an appealing distraction, we think that is somebody being attracted to us. No, for us to be attracted, there has to be some kind of relatable piece to it. Bees are attracted to flowers through the relation of pollen. You feel me? That's as simple as I can actually put it in this regard. Bees are attracted to flowers through the relation of pollen. That's what relates them, the pollen. You feel what I'm saying? How many attractions do you have where you don't even relate to the motherfucker, but you still calling it attracting? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, ooh, this person, like, most of our attractions are physical attractions. And once we say, okay, this person fucks with me on a physical I'm physically attracted to this person. Right? I'm physically attracted to this person. Now I'm going to appeal the distraction. I'm not going to be attracted back. I don't give a fuck about what you like. This is something that I had to come to terms with. As a motherfucker who studies the way that I study, I really like knowledge-based shit. I really like talking about the shit that I talk about. A plethora of things. It don't matter. I can go down any rabbit hole because that's what I like. You feel what I'm saying? It gives me the credence to be able to relate to anybody. Therefore, I can be attracted to, and I am attracted to anybody. And I'm speaking in regards to women, and just for y'all to, because y'all are new here, and, I don't say pause. You feel me? But I'm saying that because I know how y'all be thinking in 2024. But anyway, I'm in a space where I'm able to be attracted to any kind of woman. The physical attraction is like, and this is where your physical attraction has to be the highest when you don't have anything else to be attracted to. You don't realize that until you get past the illusion of a motherfucker who's love bombed you. You already been in a situation, y'all are quote unquote talking, and it's like now they hit you with an ultimatum and shit like that. It gets dangerous, homie. It gets dangerous because you don't even know how deep it is. And you be thinking, I'm attracted to this person is attracted to me. Nah, this person is you're being their appealing distraction, and they're applying an appealing distraction to you. You feel me? It always hit me like I will always be like, there's plethora of worlds that I've entered and I've been in that there's women I've talked to that I never was able to share. I don't get it. I don't do that and third. So I had to cut that part of me off. So I'm like, you're really not attracted to me. You're really not attracted to me. And that was like, Physically attracted, that's easy. Like women have been physically attracted to me since I was a baby, bro. So that doesn't bother, again, that goes into the compliment part. So you can't hype me up about how handsome I am. You can't, you know what I'm saying, about how good I am. Like, I've been getting that all of my life. Like, all my life. I've been grinding all my life. So, but that also took me from the distraction of what it is, because now your ego gets involved. And now when a motherfucker constantly tells you and they glow up, they distract you from they distract you from realizing that there isn't an attraction. You feel what I'm saying? Love bombing is the appealing distraction distraction that lets you see that there is no attraction, because there's nothing that you relate to. You feel what I'm saying? I've met some beautiful women over my life. Beautiful women. And when I say beautiful women, I mean beautiful to the core. But they weren't themselves yet. And in not being themselves, they only knew how to be what appeals to a man who's attracted to them. Me, I don't give a fuck about your looks. Yes, I'm naturally going to attract cute women, beautiful women. So that is not a prerequisite for me anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things, like, when you do it, when you're in a certain vein, you don't have to worry about a certain criteria, because it becomes default. You feel what I'm saying? Beautiful women will always be in my space. Like, you feel me? If y'all listen to this and you feel like I'm arrogant, whatever the case may be, beautiful women will always be in my space. Always. There's not a doubt in my mind that beautiful women won't show up in my space. But because of that, the moment we find where we connect, it's like they don't try to expand themselves, because on the inside, it's now I have to I've already made peace with my light and my dark, my good and my bad. I made peace with it. A lot of people haven't made peace with that, the dark side of themselves. So they show up, and when we're attracted to a person, we're attracted to their whole side, the dark and the light, not just the light. But when you only want to show the light because you're suppressing the dark, you only can distract the person appeasingly through an appealing perspective. You feel what I'm saying? So when I consider some of the relationships that I was, involving myself with, and this is like over the last couple of years, just hearing how the women talk, and it's like we stay in a box of only a certain thing because they don't want me to see the other side of them. And I don't have a problem sharing my dark side because I've already mastered it. It's like, oh shit, this was when I was not shit. But it was still a piece of me that actually had to work. So I'm cool with showcasing that full side of myself. And they're not comfortable showcasing the full side of themselves. So the love bombing comes in, because it's like, now you have to compliment me. But it's hard to compliment a motherfucker who's so eclectic and so well-rounded in a multitude of things, you can't figure out what to do. Excuse me. I've dealt with women who, when I tell them I'm into entrepreneurship, they, want to find out what's the one thing that I do, so they can try to focus on, oh, you do multiple things. Yeah, because it's deeper than just getting money for me. It's deeper than just entrepreneurship. It's what I want to do. And it's hard to relate to somebody who you don't relate to. You can be attractive as you want to and say, this person is everything. But with everything that this person is, I do not relate to that in any way, shape, or form, but I do not want to let this person out of my presence. And because I don't want to let this person out of my presence, I'm going to apply the distraction that makes them think that I really fuck with them on that type time, so they do not go nowhere. I'm doing a dramatic pause with that one, because there's so many of us who have gone through that and didn't know that we were going through that. We just thinking, oh yeah, this person really get me. This person really, did they really get you, or did they get an aspect of you that they can take you off your pivot with? And again, the distractions aren't always bad, because like I said, it can be hyping you in a certain way. You feel me? I've talked to women who, again, I make music. You feel me? My jam sessions, I make beats, I make music. So when women come into my space talking about music, it's like, all right, cool. That's their way in to distract me. When we don't have anything else to talk about, when shit gets boring, they'll send me something that's music related. It never dawned on me, because I'm not paying attention, because I'm still able to be the total version of myself, and I'm not caring. I'm able to still tap into all of their worlds because they expose their worlds to me. But they're only able to tap into one. So they say, I'm going to fuck with this part of your world, and I'm going to amplify myself in it. You feel me? So for example, I've had women who only fucked with we only related in the context of music. So that's where the attraction was. So when everything else faltered, or when everything else wasn't in that space, it was go back to music, regress back to music. Hey, did you watch this? Hey, did you see this? Hey, did you listen to this? Have you heard this new song? And it's like, I fuck with music, but I'm not consumed by it. I don't give a fuck about certain shit. And this is not just these women. This is like everybody. This is what we do as humans because we don't know how to truly connect to people anymore. We don't have that. We don't know how to relate to have a relationship. You see what I'm saying? So when they're sending me shit about music, I'm like, all right, bet. Now when I go down rabbit holes that they can't go down with the same shit, it's just like, oh, damn. Okay, so now they have to stay in this pocket. There's gonna be no growth in that relationship. You feel me? I'm in the esoteric shit. So I have women who our only conversations all the time are about esoteric shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's where they're like, this is where I can shine in your life. I don't fuck with nothing else that you do. I don't rock with nothing else that you do, but I rock with this and we align with this. But that is just a piece of you and this is everything that I can bring to this. And there's nothing more that we can talk about. And again, there's nothing wrong with these women. If y'all are listening, I'm not shitting on y'all. I'm just expressing how this reality plays out because this is the epiphany. These are the epiphanies and things that we deal with. You feel what I'm saying? Because we're basing our realities off of how well we can appeal to the distraction as opposed to actually being attracted to somebody or being attractive to them. And I've noticed this is the common thing when it comes to that. Women always tell me the same shit. And this is when the common theme starts to happen. I started to pay attention to observe so I can learn this lesson. They always say the same thing. You allow me to be myself. Why wouldn't I? It's like I can be who I really am. And then you find out that they never knew who they like. You know how they say when somebody says, what did I do to deserve you? Or you're somebody that I never thought that I deserved or whatever the case may be. It's like that's a red flag. I'm learning that a red flag also is when people approach and they say, you allow me to be myself. And I say that as a red flag on the strength that means you never had a chance to be that. So you don't have much practice being what I actively do. The reason why I can give you the free reign and the realm to actually be yourself is because I do it. But the fact that you're not familiar with it is where I have to figure out. And that's where the connections, quote unquote, are built. And the attachments are built too. Because it's like, wow, I'm going to apply my love bombing now is going to extend into the distraction and now into the attachment of I'm going to live through you because I've never had this. Speaking of that, I know so many people who are, when it comes to religion, y'all already know how I rock. And I rock this way because I rock this way. I'm not trying to I'm really this. I'm really this. And some people are confused about that. I've dealt with a couple women before who tell me, yeah, our belief, we can talk and we can do this because our beliefs shouldn't change who we are. They shouldn't, but they will, and they do, because for me, it's not just belief, it's understanding. I'm at a whole different level with this shit. And I gotta say that modestly, but at the same time, it comes out how it is because I would talk to women who would, yeah, I'm woke too. I'm on my conscious tip until they find out how deep I've already gone. Then it's like, I'm gonna stay here. You know what I'm saying? They be trying to, and sometimes it seems so diminishing. And I'm gonna tell it like this. It's only diminishing when you're in a realm of love bombing. And not only are you in a realm of love bombing, you're trying to tie into appealing distractions. You're trying to use an appealing distraction instead of being attractive, right? It seems diminishing when they try to bring new information to me and I've already explored it. I'm not being condescending. I already read that. I've already gone over that. Now, I'm not dismissing you, but I want to expand on it. But I can't expand on it because you're just now being introduced into it. You feel what I'm saying? Case in point, I was talking to somebody about human design. You feel me? I was talking to this woman about human design, and she said, yo, I just learned about this new concept called human design. Have you ever heard about that? And I was like, yeah, yeah. And then I was like, and from that, I said, and yo, I got this book that is fucking phenomenal, and I think you should read it. I'm gonna send you the link or whatever the case may be. Our conversation on human design stopped. Just like that. Because it's like, it gets to a point where when you're a very knowledgeable person, and I'm only speaking on myself for this, I'm gonna get back to the main episode. When you're a very knowledgeable person, people think that they have to be know-it-alls too. No, 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 no. I'm built for this. I'm built for this. I don't do this. I don't do this to shit on people. In fact, I do this just to stay away from people. I do this just so I can actually have enough information to, but when you're actually doing it to make yourself fit in my world, it's not gonna fit. Because you're not intentionally doing it. You're now trying to appeal to what I'm doing by distracting me with what you know I do. You're not really attracted to me. You feel what I'm saying? You're not really attracted to me. Because when you stumble upon something, you're stumbling upon it according to you, but not to be in a realm of where it is. And here's why I'm saying it's like this, because it's like that conversation led to, studying, this person studying human design, studying astrology, studying tarot, studying esoteric magic, studying I've studied all of these things. You feel me? I studied all of these things, and I still study all of them, and I practice them because I know what the fuck I'm doing with them. But I also came from that religious perspective. So a lot of the people that are in that space, they're studying this stuff in silence because they're still tied to their religions. They're still tied to these things, and they're like, I gotta do this on the low. I don't do shit on the low. Niggas know me. Motherfuckers know me. They know how I get down. And if I can't be myself, I can't fuck with you. And this is friend, family, or foe. It ain't got nothing to do with, there's no issue, there's no gripe or nothing. I am going to be myself around wherever the fuck I am. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to be myself in the seclusion of myself. You feel me? And this is something that I've learned about the photo bombers, the love bombers and shit, and how it ties to appeal and distraction. They don't want your totality to show. They want you to keep that in just like they keep theirs in. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm going to give you the distraction to say, yeah, you be that person only with me. Be that person only with me. I don't. This is, again, no shade to any of y'all if y'all are listening to this. I can be myself wherever I'm at. I never feared or never worried about being or how people are going to perceive me. I don't give a fuck. Because I realize that who I really attract and who I'm going to be attracted to, who's going to be truly attracted to me, which means that we're actually going to relate to each other. Right now, they're performing how to be themselves, and they are unapologetic about it. I ain't apologizing for shit. You feel me? And I ain't apologizing for shit because I don't do shit that needs apology. And if what I do needs apology from you, then that means you're not supposed to be in my space because I offended you somehow. And I only offend people who deserve offense. I'm going to say that shit again. I only offend people who deserve offense. So if you get offended, you deserved it. You feel what I'm saying? You deserved it in some way, shape, or form. And you deserved it not in the sense that me being an asshole to direct it to you. You're in a place that you're not supposed to be. That's why you got offended by the shit. When motherfuckers be like, yo, I got triggered. Like, how did you get triggered? Because this is something this is something within you that you have not made peace with. And because you have not made peace with that, you're not really being attracted to who I am. You're trying to distract me and not let me see that shit. And that's going to come up because why? That's who I am. And so we get deeper and deeper and deeper into this love bombing shit. And as we get deeper and deeper into this love bombing shit, we don't realize how much effort it takes to distract a motherfucker, to be appealing and distracting to a motherfucker. This is why the relationship game is what it is. When we're like, I have to figure out what it is that shorty like. I have to figure out what it is that this dude like. And you have to talk to these motherfuckers and develop and build on some shit. You're building off of isolated things. Nobody's showing their real self. Therefore, how can you really say that you're attracted to somebody? You're not. Because once we get comfortable, you got comfortable and things change. No, I got comfortable and came all the way out of my shell. The problem is you were so used to appealing to this distraction. And I was used to providing an appealing distraction that we call love bombing. We think that's compatibility. So this is why we end up needing the charts. This is why we need prayers. This is why we need all of these things to help us figure out relationships. No, nigga, you don't. You don't. You just have to understand that you need to really relate to the motherfucker that you fucking with. First, you got to learn how to relate to yourself. You've been suppressing and hiding yourself so much that you don't have no choice but to love bomb, because I have to distract you from finding out who I really am before we lock each other down. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to read my tarot cards in front of you. I'm going to break down my natal chart in front of you. I'm going to go over my human design in front of you. I'm going to study the shit about religions in front of you. I'm going to break down so much shit. And I'm going to do science. I'm going to do all of this shit in front of you. I'm not doing it in the seclusion of myself. That's a cage, my nigga. That's a fucking cage, and I am not on a leash. But so many of us are coming into relationships like that. And again, it's circling back because this is a common theme that when I started really taking relationships serious, that's when I would always hear this. It's like, I thank you for allowing me to be me. Why wouldn't I? When I do music, it's because I do music. When I do these things, it's because I don't give a fuck about none of that other shit. And let me say, I don't want to say it in a sense that's so disrespectful and derogatory when I say I don't give a fuck, but I care that much about myself that anybody else's outside thoughts don't matter to me. Again, friend, family, or foe. Because I know what I've already gone to. So there's no way you can relate. So, like tying it back, when I talk to the people who are trying to come into the esoteric sciences, but they can't leave the religion alone, and they can't leave that dynamic alone, because it's like, I know, yeah, you're in a world divided. I know you're in a world divided. You think you can walk both of these worlds, but you can't. It's going to drive you insane. Now it fucks with them because it's like, how do I let go of my family? Like, I can't just let go of my family. This is that, this, that, and the third. I can't let go of the friends that I had, this, that, the third. All of those motherfuckers are established off the mask. If you can consciously tell me, you can consciously look me in my eyes and tell me that I'm the first person who's allowed you to fully be yourself, how does everybody else know you? That means your entire existence is a facade, and you're stuck in it because you built your world off of a mask. And I know this because I've done it. And I reached a point where I said, I'm not doing this shit no more. I'm not hiding who I am. Now, where they fail, where they get difficult at, and I see it because I watch how they return back to the old things that makes their family fuck with them, makes their family love them. But they come to me and dump everything else off. It's like, why don't you talk to this person about that? Because it's like, one of the things you have to do in order to transition and be able to break the mold of being a love bomber is you have to learn how to accept rejection. A lot of people be thinking that, oh, men just don't know. No, let's keep it 100. Unattractive and ugly people don't know how to accept rejection. Attractive people don't get rejected, so therefore they don't have to actually get into that space. But people that are quote unquote undesirable, they're the ones who don't know how to handle rejection. But the real reality is nobody knows how to handle rejection. This is why we end up applying appealing distractions to people when we're quote unquote attractive, because we can get into that mode when we physically keep ourselves up and everything. Now I can show you that I'm him or I'm her, I'm this, that, and I'm all of the above, because I can play the distraction, but I still don't know how to relate to you. So we end up playing a whole role based off masks that we wear. Some of us don't realize that we're only in a position to be quote unquote liking somebody because of the shit that we've done. When I consider going to med school, when I consider being a forensic biologist and shit like that, and actually having these credentials under me, if I lead with that, I can only fuck with people within the realm of which I can lead through that. And people that are going to be attracted to me are going to be tied to that. They're really not going to fuck with the full totality of me. You feel what I'm saying? And they can't fuck with the full totality of me because they can only fuck with me to the way in which I present myself. You dig what I'm saying? So now when we look at the reaction, the inability to accept rejection, it comes from the fact that we all love bomb. We all love bomb. Some just do it more than others. Some just do it worse than others. Some even do it better. But we love bomb in such a way that it feels like real love. until we can't love bomb anymore, because it's like both of us are pretending. We're truly, truly pretending. We're not really being ourselves. We're really not being ourselves. So is this really love? This is an appealing distraction that we want to last forever. Again, tying it back to when I was saying, people would be like, you got to be all about me. You got to be all about me. You got to be all about me. No, I need you to make sure I don't see anybody else. In addition to that, I'm going to make sure you don't see anybody else, because it's a threat off both ends. When I was just talking to a shorty, having a healthy conversation, I thought, and we were talking about why men cheat. I said, anybody cheats. I don't know why niggas don't get it. I tell the same shit every time, and they still don't understand it. And this is why I know they don't understand it, because of this shit that we're talking about right now. People cheat when they're losing. And I get it. We get so wrapped up in our minds that we feel like we're winning. And I'm going to tell you, the only way you win in life is when you are truly able to be yourself. Not when you achieve a certain status, not when you have a certain amount of money, not when you are truly comfortable with being your full fucking self. That's when you're winning at life. Nobody cheats on you when you're doing that. Nobody cheats on you when you're doing that. Instead, in fact, they actually love bomb you to try to make sure they stay in your life forever. Go figure. But you get cheated on when all you do is appeal to distraction. Because now it's like there's nothing to distract me anymore. This is redundant. This is repetitive. This is happening like we're in a script now. I text you good morning. You text me back. I text you good morning. And it's like, you're not going, what you doing me to death, but everything else is to death. Like, that's what we do. Because now it's like, yo, you have to distract me a little bit better. The fuck? Distract you from what? If you need a distraction from life, you're not living. That's simple. So when we consider how love bombing works and how that is our relationship template, nobody's actually living life enough to not need to be distracted. Again, this is something I just started to observe as I'm outside now. Like, it gets to a point where it's like, yo, why can't I get it right? I'm not asking that question, but I'm just speaking as people who say this shit. Why can't I get it right? Are you understanding why you're getting it wrong? That's the real question. Instead of asking, why can't I get it right? Ask yourself, why am I getting it wrong? Understand why you're getting it wrong. Oh, because it ain't supposed to work. Because it's built off of how well we can distract each other from seeing the other competitors. Nobody's stepping into the space to collaborate. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody's stepping into space to make sure the other competitors can get who they got, get the prize that they hold. Rather than, I want to collaborate with a winner, a motherfucker who wins. Therefore, I have no reason to cheat. Therefore, I have no reason to love bomb. This is what I was getting at, and I kind of drifted off, but women be like, yo, you're not applying pressure. What the fuck I got to apply pressure for? Like, I like you for different reasons. I'm not trying to distract you and make you forget about these other guys or no shit like that. No, my presence, my essence is far greater than my presence. And it's far greater than some fucking love bombing. I know this about myself. And I know that that's what I look for in the women that I'm fucking with. Your essence is why I fuck with you. That's why I can take however much time I want. I'm not saying, oh, I applied pressure, she just didn't want me. No, because I know that when I really want to get you, I'm going to get you. I know that when I really want to get you, I'm going to get you because I like your essence. And a part of that is respecting the things that show up essentially. I can tell when you burnt out. I can tell when you tired. I can tell when you need a break. I can tell when you need certain shit because I can see what your essence is. And that's scary because now when you see the real version of a motherfucker and when you have the vision to see the real version of a motherfucker, they get intimidated. I was talking to a woman one time and she was like, I don't know how you do it, but you can make complete strangers drop their guards and reveal their most vulnerable self to them. I said, it's because I always show my most vulnerable self. Y'all just don't realize how vulnerable I really am because I've gotten so strong with my vulnerability. That's it. Every episode on this podcast is me being my absolute vulnerable self. And you see how effortless it is? You know why? Because I've come to terms with the fact that, yo, this is me. This is the full totality of me. So because I open up this space and this world for people, it allows those people to naturally just walk into the space and they don't even know that's what they're doing. How'd you make me let my guards down? I didn't make you let your guards down. I just showed you that mine weren't up and I wasn't afraid of you, which made you realize you had no reason to be afraid of me. It's all on a spiritual, subconscious level. You don't even know that it's actually interplaying. This doesn't even have to be in a physical form. This can be in the form of text message. This could be a form of DM or whatever the case may be. I do this. I make motherfuckers, and it's like, I always wondered, and even some of my homies and shit, my tribe, they be like, man, people just come up to me and just dump off on me because you safe. The fuck? Your real self is safe. That's who they really see. That's the person that they communicating with. And it's crazy because strangers get to see our real self before anybody else does. And we wonder why complete strangers just come up to us and just start talking. Strangers see us see our real self before the actual people we know sees our real self. And we wonder why. Why did I just hit it off with this person? And now you have those people who would talk you out of a quote unquote random relationship that changed your life. Again, this is something that I've experienced first fucking hand. A woman who tells me all the time, yeah, you just allow me to be myself. I just still feel so free with you. And then go back and tell her homies and tell her friends and tell her family about me. And then it's like, you better watch that. You better watch that. You know why they're telling you to watch that? You know why they're telling you all these things? Because they want you to remain in the distracted space. I'm not trying to manipulate you. I don't tell nobody to follow any of the philosophies I follow. I just show you what I do and I tell you that I get to be me. I respect everybody's boundaries. I respect everything that everybody else stands on. But I respect it in such a capacity that it's like, you get to do whatever the fuck you want to do around me. Just let me do whatever the fuck I'm going to do. How is that a problem? Because now when you go back and tell your friends and everything, it's like, oh my gosh, this man is so this, that, and the third. And then now you get, again, appealing distraction because I'm going to elevate you out of this space. The moment I let you see your real self, the moment anybody lets you see your real self and your real self exposes, you get a glimpse of yourself and you run with it. And now you start to tell people, yo, this person allows me to be me. And they're like, when did you start liking this? When did you start doing it? And you start realizing how many motherfuckers never knew you and a complete stranger got you to fully open up. Do you know why that is the case and why that is a fucking reality that happens? It's because our relationships are built off of love bombing. They're built off of applying an appealing distraction to some shit to make sure motherfuckers don't see their real self. Motherfuckers is getting married right now to motherfuckers is like, yo, you my best friend. I love you for life. I this, that, and the third. And you don't even know this motherfucker. Both of you two have just applied an appealing distraction to each other for so long that you think it's love. And y'all still feel empty. And then once the wedding rings happen, once the kids happen, look at how much life is built off of distractions because they feel good. And again, we be thinking distractions are things that completely take you off course and they fuck up your life. You have good distractions. You have good fucking distractions that take you off of the game. Case in point, a lot of women who be broken, a lot of humans who be broken, but a lot of women who be broken, they'll come into it off the rebound. This is what the rebound phase is. You feel me? Distract me from my pain. Distract me from my hurt. Don't heal me. Hey, I'm a catalyst, baby. You come into my space, you're not dwelling in pain for too long. So you can't come in, and that's how they would approach me. Ooh, you're so emotionally available. You're so emotionally attuned. Yes, and I'm not catering to your motherfucking emotions. I'm emotionally intelligent as fuck for a reason. But my emotional intelligence extends into not succumbing to the emotion. So when you call me complaining, when you talk about all you want to vent and this, that, and the third and all of the shit that you went through and this, that, we got to solve it. You're not going to keep bringing up bullshit to me. You're just not. You're just not. And now, like I was saying, when you're in that space and people are coming to you off of that rebound, they're coming to you off of that pain, they're like, I'm going to provide the distraction that I'm not hurt. and I'm going to use you to distract me, but now I'm going to tap into something that I know that you quote unquote do or that you like, and I'm going to stay there. The issue is that a lot of us, because we are so one-dimensional collectively, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, we're literally programmed to be one-dimensional. You go to college to major in one thing, and we overhype motherfuckers who can major in two, like our brains aren't expansive and infinite enough to major in so many different things. If you actually put me on paper and wrote me down, I only have 1 degree, forensic biology. But if you took out all of the information that I've ever gathered in this world, I can have a multitude of degrees. I can literally have a degree in astrology. I can definitely have a degree in religion. I can definitely have a degree in trading and investing. I could definitely have several degrees in everything I do, but society teaches us to only have a degree in one thing, major in one fucking thing, and our minds are expansive where we can do whatever the fuck we want to do with our minds. So when we're approaching people, we focus on the one thing that we feel they put their most into. And then that's what we, like when it comes to, I remember when I used to talk about forensics to people, I was in the MLM and one of the homies, he was like, yeah, I think you should apply for the forensic science program at this because you majored in forensics. I said, I'm done with forensics. I don't think you understand that. But I think it'll be good. No. Now you're trying to come into my world. And this is the only way you have in, but that door is closed in this world. You got to listen. You got to pay attention. And because that's how you connect, now you want to say, now you have to, this is your way in. So now the way that you stay in is you have to keep me here. I'm done. I'm done with it. I love when people throw the shots about, me not finishing med school or shit like that. It's like, you didn't go. I went. I saw what it was and it conflicted with who I am as a person. Not many people are willing to do no shit like that. Because you gotta be that secure and that comfortable within yourself to know that. Which now segues back into the full totality of everything that I was just talking about. When you don't know who you are, and you're afraid of that. I'm not afraid of who I am. So much so that I'm willing to stand on business to the death of me. If something violates my core as a person, I stand on it. I don't fuck with it. You dig what I'm saying? I cannot fuck with it. But in not being able to fuck with it, I had to keep in mind that everybody else isn't built like that. Nobody's willing to walk away from some shit that they do. I was talking about before, there's a difference between wants and wills. And again, this goes into talking to women who, yeah, I want to homeschool my kids. Yeah, I want to make sure my kids ain't getting caught up in this system. I want to make sure that I can feed them. I can, and I said, I will do it. And so it sounds good when you are taught and you're, conditioned, when you meet this man, you got to do this. When you meet this person, like nation building is a funny thing to talk about. It's a cool thing to talk about. And it's an easy thing to distract yourselves from and to provide an appealing distraction and get no motherfucking work done. I'm in position. Are you? Now, you can't, and here's the thing about it. You just can't distract the motherfucker who's in position. I'm going to say that shit again because that's a bar. You can't distract the motherfucker who's in position. You just can't. And that's what happens with a lot of the shit. It's like, oh, you ghosted me or you this, that, and the third. People don't ghost. Let me tell you how you know how ghosts are formed? The body dies. If you feel like I ghosted you, that means you acknowledge you died to me. Because you're a ghost now. However we want to look at the shit, that's what it means. And people would rather say this person ghosted me than I could no longer distract this person in an appealing way. You feel what I'm saying? Show me something more than I've seen. You can't. You can only show me to the capacity that I've seen because I'm truly being myself and you're trying to walk into this space. And in this space, it's like, it gets repetitive. Like I said, it's going to get repetitive when once you find the very thing that you can distract this person with and appeal to it, you think that's your attraction. I've had so many women tell me some shit like this, and I've seen so many observations of women just talking about men that were like, no, nobody's really attracted to each other. We just pride ourselves in being the appealing distraction. All you keep hearing is get into the markets, but do you trade or do you invest? Should you do stocks, Forex, crypto, or NFTs? My personal answer is not a single one if you don't know how to read a chart. Without knowing how to read a chart, you end up giving all your money to those who do. Do you know what a candle is? Do you know the pocket of activity? Do you know the difference between market direction and market control? If you answer no at least once, you might want to learn how to read a chart first. Learning how to read a chart will let you know if you should trade or invest and if you should do stocks, forex, crypto, and or NFTs. It will also let you know if this is even for you or not. So visit IamJustSeen.com to learn how to read charts with my Mastering the Market course, ebooks, and webinars today. The world is changing. The question is, will you adapt with it? You're not an attractive motherfucker, like, fuck. When you know, again, this is the most modest that I can say this, but you know you're truly an attractive motherfucker for real when you're magnetic. If there's no magnetism behind your attraction, that's not it. Women have been so, and again, the most modesty, but I can only tell my story. I can't tell you what about other motherfuckers, but I've had connections with women who felt me from other states. Like literally just wake up and text me. I'm like, why do I feel you way over here? Nigga, I don't fucking know. Stop thinking about me and go your ass back to sleep, nigga. The fuck? But my truest self is always on display. So it's deeper than just a motherfucker. Motherfuckers don't just be attracted to me. They're magnetized. Because that's how the human experience is supposed to be. The attraction is supposed to be magnetic to everybody and everything that you connect with when you're truly being yourself. But when you're not truly being yourself and you're applying to and you're moving in a way in which you're appealing to the distraction that makes a motherfucker think you're what you are, you fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to learn how to be comfortable in yourself and be so comfortable in yourself that there is no problem within yourself. You feel what I'm saying? There is no problem within yourself. Until you can reach that point, you're always going to love bomb in a relationship. Because everything you do in that relationship is to make sure the side of you that you have not made peace with doesn't show. That's a cage, my nigga. That mask has to come on. My mask is off. Like, I talk shit. I talk my shit, though. You feel me? And it's like everybody that I'm around, that when they're around me, they feel it. They feel this magnetism that comes off of me. And I feel the magnetism within them growing. And it's like, yo, come on, y'all, let's get here. But after they leave my presence, they got to go back into the presence of everybody else they have to appeal to the distraction with. The fuck? You can only tie down and be in a space for so long before it takes you over. And you can't live it. So a lot of the women that have come into my space that have been locked in that, it's like, I got to talk to you every day. I got to do this and the third. It's like, how can you go without to? Cuz I don't need to talk to you every day to keep you in my mind. You got to talk to me every day to make sure I don't forget you. I don't forget people who are genuinely themselves. That's a cheat code of life. That's a cheat code of life. I've had so many people come to me over the last couple years and it's like, yo, nigga, you still on the same shit. No, I'm not on the same shit. I'm constantly being myself. I'm improving. I'm growing. You feel me? But I'm not out here trying to distract and hide from who I am. And I can really attract the people that I need. You feel what I'm saying? I've just learned and observed that over the last years, like I am a heavy reflection of what it is to be yourself. And everybody who comes into my space is like, you're either going to be scared to do it or you're going to be wanting to do it. But you have to figure out what's going to happen once you do it. And like I was saying, I'm going to bring this in. And I'm going to try to start bringing this to an end. But when I was mentioning about how there's relationships you're going to have to cut off, and a lot of people think that's a misconception. It's like, yo, I'm going to lose friends. I'm going to this, that, and the third. You're not. You're not. Your friends are just going to gain a different appreciation for you. They can still be your friends. Your family can still be your family. But what it's going to do is you're going to realize that all of these attractions have been how well you can appeal to somebody else's distraction from themselves. Some people will get mad at you for not doing what they failed at. The fuck? Some people will look at you a certain way because of what's wrong with them. How many times have somebody told you that you couldn't do something and you excelled at it and shit, now they mad? Why do you think jealousy is what it is? I don't get jealous in relationships, bro. I wish I would get jealous of another man. Like, you're not me. I'm not you. I don't want to be you. I've gotten so comfortable in being my motherfucking self that nobody else excites me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not in the sense of like hermit mode forever. No, it's like there's no excitation within me regarding, if I was talking to a woman and, she's telling, I don't care, but if that's who you choose to go with, by all means, do it. Like, I'm not going to be jealous of it. I'm not going to fight for it. I'm not going to be in a space where, oh my God, I got to have it. Oh my God, she's got to do X, Y, and Z. Oh my gosh. No, I don't give a fuck. He's not competing with me because he's not me. I'm that secure within myself because now I also know how the relationship's working out. You feel what I'm saying? You still trying to get distracted. I'm the respectfully, and this goes to my exes. I hope y'all listening. If y'all listening, you feel me? Ain't no hard feelings, no bad blood. But I was definitely hard to replace. Cause you realize that, oh, this nigga this was an essence. This wasn't just an attraction, like, but then they had to step in and realize, cause it's always the same shit. I just wasn't ready for a man like you. I didn't know what it took and blah, blah, blah. Same bullshit, but the same bullshit ties into the fact that we're so wired to relationships being built off of how well we can be distracted and how well we can be somebody's distraction. Don't distract me because you can't. You feel me? When we get out of this mindset of always trying to distract motherfuckers and shit, things will change and things will open up and be a lot better. You know why? Because a lot of people don't want to get into the space. My bad. My bad. But a lot of people walk into the space. My phone kept going off. But a lot of people walk into the space where they think that that's how love is. Everything is about, like, this is why I was saying in that, I have a recent episode where I was saying women don't know how to treat men. They just know how to respond to, they know how to reward a man's behavior that's in line with whatever they have been programmed or conditioned to, right? And when they say men don't know how to treat women, do we not know how to treat women? Or it can't be both. We can't not know how to treat women and then still treat women all the same. That's a reality. When we look at the commonality, take it back to the bee and the pollen. Figure out how that relationship plays out. The woman is the common factor. Either how do we not know how to treat women, but at the same time, we treat all the women the same? Whose fault is that? Because it goes into the reward. Women reward men for how they're treated. So you can't have it both ways. It can't be that all men treat all these women the same. I'm not like these other women. You gonna court me. You gonna do, shut up. It can't be we treat all y'all the same. And at the same time, we don't know how to treat y'all. And I get it. Some will place semantics. Well, it's because you treat us all the same because you don't know how to treat us. All right. We treat y'all all the same because y'all are the same. Y'all aren't individuals. Y'all will literally have a whole template of what a woman is. Like, there's so many women. Oh, I'm in my soft girl era. Yep, girl, we in our soft girl era. You're deciding to be the same as the other women. The fuck? How you think we supposed to approach y'all? The same fucking way. The fuck? Because you don't know who you are. Men, the same shit. These hoes all do the same shit. These bitches all do the same shit. Why do all of these bitches do the same shit? Because you the same motherfucker, or you're trying to be. And it's easier for me to see as men because with women, they like to play the back. They're able to play the back in such a way that you don't really know. But men, we're always on displays and as being competitors and shit. We always want to be the alphas. We always want to be whatever the case may be. But we want to be the same motherfucker. We all want to be the same motherfucker. Like, and that's funny because it's like in that now you have to distract the people that you're attracted to, quote unquote, because you don't need them to see that you're just like everybody else. But then it's like there's no difference in you. You feel me? I said it before. I've already retired 2 jerseys. I already beat this game as a competitor, as a motherfucker who distracts people. I'm a good distraction. You feel what I'm saying? Women enter my space. They ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. Everybody should be lucky. Not everybody. But a lot of motherfuckers should be lucky that I've given that shit up. I will break a lot of hearts. I will fuck up a lot of homes. And this is dangerous because it's like I make motherfuckers realize that, wow, I've chased everybody. This is the level of the game that I got. And for me, it's not even about a game. It's like, yo, I walk into the space as my authentic self, which is what I know nobody else is doing. When I was 12, my big homie told me, he said, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And I followed that shit the rest of my life. And I realized that, and it helped me get comfortable with being myself. Everybody else was trying to be what everybody else wanted to be. So again, when we approaching these relationships and these men don't know how to treat a woman, but they treat us all the same. And these women only know how to do this. Like, it's everybody's programmed to the same template. And nobody likes the template, and nobody knows that the template doesn't work because you're not attracted, because you're not who you really are. Your accolades, your rewards, your goals, your all of this other bullshit that you've obtained and you locked into, that right there is what the fuck you're lost in. You're lost in that shit. And you're not who you are. That's why you're miserable when you fucking go home. That's why you spend so much time on social media. That's why you spend so much countless hours scrolling, because who you really are shows up in social media far more than it shows up in the real world. Why? Because you double tap the shit that's really yours. Your algorithm is now you don't have a real life algorithm because you're scared to show it, but on social media you can show it because it's not real. Is it? Is it really not that real? Because you programming and you actually showing your real self on social media. The real tribe, the real people. Now, when you meet these social online people, it's fucked up when you meet them in real life because the mask trigger's back on. Because you're already programmed for real world activity to not show your true self. And you've already showcased your true self on social media. Everything that you double tap, everything that you commented on, everything that you laughed at, everything that you responded to, it built up and it shows your truest self. Because only your truest self is the one that's actually in control of this. The shit that you spend countless hours on, that's it. And this is what I was saying, like, through the social media aspect, like having that social media connection with women and, talking to them. And it's like, I know why I showed up in your feed. I have to figure out why you showed up in mine. And matter of fact, I know why you showed up in mine. You feel what I mean? But again, are you willing enough to actually break down and get beyond what's distracting us or what is used to distract us? And I've learned that a lot of people be thinking that somebody's out of their league. And it's not even that they out of the league. You just don't know what to do to distract them. You don't know how to provide an appealing distraction to this motherfucker. That's it. Ain't no leagues in this motherfucker, bro. Like, it's really not. When you look at these relationships, when you look at how shit go, that's why love bombing can be what it is, because it ain't no leagues in this motherfucker. It's how well you can appeal to a motherfucker's distraction. A lot of women know they can't distract me. This is personal observance that I've actually seen. They don't know how to approach me because they don't know how to distract me. And they don't know that that's what it is. I have conversations and the shit is like, hey, what's up? How you doing? What are you nervous for, nigga? Be you, the fuck? Once we get them fluid conversations that flow and that real version of them comes out, they try to hide it. It's like, don't hide it, man. That's what I want to see. I don't give a fuck about who you can't distract me. So don't try. You can't distract me. And it's like, I've had women say, they admire my discipline and this, that, and the third. And some of them will try to insult me. These are things that I've had to learn about this reality with the love bombing and shit. I don't know why I keep saying photo bombing, but with the love bombing and shit, look at how it plays out. I've had women call me a robot, say that I'm too structured, say that I need to live a little because they couldn't distract me. That'll take you off your motherfucking pivot if you don't know who the fuck you are. Some motherfuckers, they try so hard to appeal to distraction that they now have to insult you when they can't distract you. Yeah, sit with that, because I'm sure y'all have experienced that shit. Motherfucker, you're like, damn, you used to fuck with me, but damn. Case in point, when a dude is hollering at a chick and she says, I'm not interested in shit, how quickly does he change? How quickly does it change? You ain't that good looking anyway, motherfucker. Fuck you, bitch. This and the third. Damn. How you go from hollering at her and wanting her to now being upset that you couldn't get her because I don't have what it takes to apply an appealing distraction to you. That's crazy. That's crazy. Think about it. I do not have what it takes to apply an appealing distraction to you. It ain't that you're not attracted to me. It's that and the third. Then you have motherfuckers that ain't got to say a motherfucking word and they know you'll distract me. You can distract me all day long. She told her girls, I can get it. And then it's the same as on women's side. It's the same as on women's side because they be like, yo, women can't handle men can't handle the shit either. Women can't handle the shit either. They're just a little bit more sinister with the shit. Because the rejection comes in knowing that I cannot apply a distraction to somebody. We be thinking this motherfucker don't want me. This motherfucker, no, I can't distract this motherfucker in a positive way. All that I'm doing, and then what they say, what do women tell you when they get hurt? I've been throwing that at him. I've been giving all kind of hints, this, that, and the third, and he just don't. And what do they say? How they justify it within their mind? Oh, he must be gay. Because I cannot apply the distraction that I'm trying to apply to him. One of the first girlfriends that I had that I took real seriously in my early 20s and shit, I told her, I said, I'm not fucking you because I'm not fucking you for like a month and a half, 2 months after we get together. So just know that, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. So she's telling her friends and she's like, yeah, I spent the night in her room one night. This is before we even got together. So I spent the night in her room. I slept outside of the covers and I was up before 6 and I was out. And her friends tried to come into the room and they was like, where'd he get? She's like, he already left. She's like, he didn't even touch me. He slept outside of this, that, and the third. And so he slept outside the covers, didn't want to cuddle, didn't nothing. And it was like, damn. Now, here's hindsight. You don't even know me yet. You don't know what I like. You don't know if I'm crazy. You don't know if I'm deranged. But you already use sex on the forefront. It's already in your mind as the means in which you have to appeal to distract me. Sometimes I had to look at that. Sex appeal is a powerful thing. I'm a very appealing motherfucker sexually, baby. Like I'm telling you, homie. Like I got sex appeal like a motherfucker. I just tame the shit. But I have a lot of sex appeal. You feel me? Women just be wanting to fuck me and shit. And I realized why. Over time, I had to realize why. Because when we're in this love bombing space, when we're in this space where you have to apply distraction, there's nothing else that distracts this man. It's nothing else that distracts this man. And rather than that being a reward of character for you, it is undermined because they think, well, why doesn't this motherfucker want me? It ain't that I don't want you. I just can't be distracted by bullshit. That's bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? So as, you know, her friends are, you know, talking and shit and they're like, he didn't try nothing? She's like, yeah, he must be gay. And it's like, yeah, I think that's what it is. He got to be gay because there's no way a man is just going to sleep by like, and I was 18 or 19. I was 18 at the time. Had not turned 19 yet. And it's like, nah, that's, you know. And so she tells me what her friend said. She says, my friend thinks you're gay because you didn't. I said, no. I said, I value myself. I said, there's no point in me having sex with you when I'm really trying to pursue something with you because I don't want that distraction. I didn't know what I was uttering at the time. But now I'm understanding what it was because I'm seeing the bigger picture of it. And it's like, damn, fast forward, nothing changed within the 10, 20-year pocket. I mean, the 10-year pocket. You feel what I'm saying? The women were still, now it's even worse because it's like, they're now being hyped up by the sister circles. They're now being hyped up in a different regard. And the brothers, I'm going to get to these niggas too, because the manosphere is different. The manosphere is different, but it's saying, I'm so good that I don't have to distract you. Not realizing that, yeah, I'm like, the whole I'm the prize thing, I'm the distraction. I'm the highest level of distraction. You got to work for me. No, nigga, fuck is you talking about? Now everybody wants to be the prize because nobody's paying attention to how the relationship space is working. You feel what I'm saying? It is literally and legitimately about being so enthralled into yourself and to your ego that you feel as if you are the catch because I can distract anybody. That was something that I used to, you know, pride myself on when I was a kid. I can get any girl that I want. I just have enough appeal to be an appealing distraction to you. I'm not attracted to you. You're not attracted to me, but I'm able to distract you from the fact that your man ain't what you want him to be, that he ain't tall, he ain't as handsome as I am. You feel me? I expose shit like that. And that's how the shit get exploited. And that's why motherfuckers cheat. Motherfuckers be like, you know, oh, I'm a good person. I'm a good this and that. But you wasn't a good distraction. You didn't distract me from the shit. You feel me? We get with a motherfucker. We distract them in the courting phase until it's like lockdown. Now we girlfriend and boyfriend. Now we man and woman. Now we husband and wife. The distraction stops. No, it don't. The distraction only stops when you're no longer in the space of temptation because you know who you are and you know what you need in your life. You feel what I'm saying? I literally know a woman who just got cheated on by her man who was throwing a pussy at me, and she's mad at him. She can't figure it out. She's like, I'm a good woman. Lady, do you not know that you just added me? You added me to your green stories in fucking Instagram, and you just showing it like, and you got a whole man because you want this attention. And now you upset that you got cheated on. He was losing in that situation. You weren't keeping him from being distracted, and you thought the sole fact that you was a woman with a body that you were supposed to not, that's what keeps the distraction alive. That's that pride shit going to your head. Pride and pride shit. It goes to your head because you're in a space where you feeling like, you know what? I'm distracting enough. Wow. I should be distracting enough. No. We're now in a space where our attention spans are less than a goldfish. A goldfish got an 8-second attention span, my nigga. And relationships are built off of how well we can appeal to a distraction. You'll never win. You go to my Explore page, you want to. You go to my Explore page, you want to, and you think that you're going to distract me with lust. You just have to be lucky enough that I've transcended beyond that shit. You feel what I'm saying? You withholding pictures and shit, and it's a motherfucker right now busting it open for free. DMs is crazy. You feel what I'm saying? You really think you're the distraction? And again, because we're in a social media world, the social media world is really who we are. The posts that we like, the content, that's why I fuck with the people. I don't give a fuck about the people who fuck with the reels I steal. But the actual words and the captions that I make and shit like that, that's how I know who's really supposed to be in my space. But because of the fact that you fuck with that, I know who you really are. I know the real you. And so when those women come into my space, it's like, yeah, I fucks with you because I know who you really are. And that's what the fuck I'm fucking with. But because of that, I'm not trying to distract you from me. I'm trying to bring that part of you out. I don't want to distract you from seeing other men. Fuck no. That's futile. I've tried that before. Being the best guy that you know. I've learned the easier way. Just make you comfortable being yourself. I make you comfortable as fuck being yourself and give you a glimpse of it and make you realize that I can do this at will and I'm comfortable doing this. So now you might, because if you're in that competitive space, the love bombing and all that shit, you might think, oh, I'm gonna go find another man who can make me fit. You're not. You're not, because you have to find another man who is comfortable in the space of being himself. So that way he's not approaching you from a space of appealing distraction. He's really attracted to you. That's few and far in between because we don't have to be that because we don't learn that that's something that we have to do. We learn to love bomb. We learn like that's the whole romance is love bombing. Nigga. It's right there. Like, and that's what gets me. It's like we focus so much on the words and we look at content. Like we don't look at words the way we're supposed to anymore. And that's devastating. That's devastating to know because motherfuckers hate love bombing, but they love romance. Yeah, I'm dramatically pausing on that because I need that shit to marinate. Motherfuckers they hate love bombing, but they love romance. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. I need to do what's needed to make sure you only see me. So I got to give you the flowers. I got to open the doors. I got to walk on the right side of the road. Now, I'm not saying don't do these things. You feel me? I'm not saying don't do these things. But now this ties into why chivalry is dead. The fuck I got to distract you from? You feel what I'm saying? There's men right now that'll hold the door open for me. There's men right now that'll do this. And the more men you have in your capacity to do that, the easier it is for you to be distracted. And now you want me, wow. You want me to apply an appealing distraction that keeps you from the attention that you already set yourself out to seek. I can't distract you from the attention that you want. You feel what I'm saying? Women don't want to be loved anymore. They want to be lusted over. Men never wanted to be loved. We just wanted some pussy. The shit works now. But now that I can get it at such an easy act, like, why would I do that? Why would I put in any work for something that's already given out for free? And it's deeper than just the cow and the cow metaphor and shit like that. This is anything. Why would I apply an appealing distraction to something who is demanding attention at any rate? Dilutes the product. Dilutes the product. Feel me? And brothers, ain't no different. We ain't no different than this motherfucker. It's the same shit. Why would I be a man's motherfucking peace? This is what they're asking. Why would I be a man's motherfucking peace when he's seeking peace everywhere? You know how chaotic it is to go seek peace everywhere? Yeah, nigga, sit with that shit. I'm gonna run that shit back. It is chaotic to go seek peace everywhere. Man, I gotta type that up. Let me remember that shit. But that is real. It is chaotic to go seek peace everywhere. You don't even have peace within yourself, so you don't even know what peace looks like. That's why you're seeking it from everywhere, causing more chaos into your life. You feel what I'm saying? This shit is easy to understand, but it's hard to understand because nobody wants to sit down and actually look at the full scope of everything that is going through our fucking realities. Our relationships are built to love bomb. You know why? Because niggas want romantic shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I can't understand how we hate love bombing. Oh, you're trying to rush the relationship, but you want a romantic motherfucker. Sit down and look at a romantic night. Sit down and look at a romantic dinner. Sit down and look. That shit's love bombing. But it's because it's from somebody that you want. And you calling it pressure. But again, all it is a distraction. All it truly is in all totality, in all actuality, is that it's a distraction. It's an appealing distraction from, it's just an appealing distraction that we think is an attraction. Oh, I'm so attracted to this person. Oh, girl, this man do this, that, and the third. He distracts you from bullshit. You feel me? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Vice versa. Women, however, too. Apply it as it apply. But they'll say, one man, she's too much, is another man's, I got you. And that is true. That is true. And that goes to your head when you realize what love bombing is, and that goes to your head and you can overlook it until you understand the concept of, you know what, my nigga? This is just basically an appealing distraction. Now, what happens when I'm not compensated for constantly distracting you? Oh, this ain't no reward for this shit. I'm cheating. This shit easy. Because what happens? There's a woman right now or a man right now, significant, the motherfucker on the outside, a side piece right now, who is going to apply the distraction that you're not getting at home. I know, right? I know. I be busting bubbles. I don't give a fuck. That's what the fuck I do. You feel what I'm saying? You're not getting the shit at home. The distraction isn't there anymore. And there's no reason, like, there's nothing that you could distract me from because now I need to be distracted from you. Oh, shit. I dig it. Oh. Yo, the distraction changes because now I need to be distracted from you. You dig what I'm saying? It's no more. It's like where you once were the distraction that made me not focus on everybody else. Now I need a distraction from you. That's wild. That's wild. That's wild, bro. I'm just sitting with it because I'm like, when I looked at the women that I cheated with and the women that I cheated on, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I needed a distraction from you. But I ain't want to end it. You feel me? And we can't end it because, again, love bombing shit. It's standards. Oh, nah, this is my soulmate. This like that soulmate shit is bullshit. Especially when you consider approaching relationships like this. I'm going to show you that you're my soulmate, so I'm only going to do the good shit to attractively distract you. Nah, you know you're in the presence of a real motherfucking soulmate because that shit's uncomfortable. Soulmate, twin flame, whatever the fuck you want to call this shit. That shit's really uncomfortable. It don't feel good. And that's the sad part about it. They be like, the way to which they depict soulmates is that it's the motherfucker that you want to distract and want to distract you. You don't mind being that attraction for. You don't mind. No. Soulmate. Again, this is why you always hear me say with love comes correction. If my love is just designed to sedate you and distract you from seeing everything else, that's not cool. My love is supposed to correct you in a way that you know not to fuck up. Will you still fuck up? Yeah, probably. The fuck? You human. The fuck? You human. I know women right now, I love them. Like, and that was one of the things that I had to come to terms with. You never had to earn my love. I loved you from the jump. You just have to lose it. And when you lose it, you can't get it back. You feel me? I'm on a whole different world. I'm in a whole different world right now because with love comes correction. My goal is to pour into you to make you better and shit. So I'm loving you from the jump. But now when I gotta earn your love, the love that I have to earn is based off of how well I can distract you. Oh, you love me now because I can make nobody else is visible when I'm around. You know, no, fuck that. Fuck you. You got me fucked up. I can distract you all day long, but if you're not gonna get better in this situation, we're not gonna click. We're not gonna work. It just ain't gonna happen. I'm not love bombing you. I'm gonna put you in a space to make you feel, yeah, am I gonna support you? Yeah, am I gonna push you? Yeah, I'm gonna do these things, but it's not gonna feel good. Cause that's not what soulmates really are. Soulmates ain't made to feel good, my nigga. They're made to produce growth. You can't produce growth if you constantly being distracted. Now I gotta be intensively with distracted. Like, you didn't text me good morning. You didn't stay on the phone with me until we fell asleep. You didn't, like, the fuck, nigga, who the fuck cares? Are you getting better in life? You feel me? Dawg, bro, man, I ain't had nothing in 2 weeks, bro. She ain't giving me nothing, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, when women ain't in the mood no more, you're not appealing to the distraction no more. You feel me? I can tell you like this, like, and this is, again, some of the most modesty that I got to keep it 100 with. It wasn't until I actually got in a relationship, the relationship that I got in when I was in undergrad, was the first relationship where a woman told me that she wasn't in the mood. And it was because the reality is different. She wasn't in the mood because it's boring and we're having sex at the same time, the same way, all of this shit in the third. It's like, damn, the fuck, I gotta get a nut. I don't know, like, what the fuck you feel me? And then I remember we went celibate one time. And when we came back, I fucked the shit out of her. She was like, oh my gosh, I never felt it like that before. What changed and everything? I wanted to fuck somebody else, but I didn't. And I put it off on you. But at the same time, it wasn't that she was the distraction. It was the fact that I knew who I was with. I knew myself, and I said, I'm not about to do that. You feel what I'm saying? But again, the reason why I'm saying that is because the best sex that I ever had came from women who knew who we weren't trying to perform. We weren't trying to distract each other. We were the distractions. You know what I'm saying? And our true self came out and emerged, and it was like, yo. So I've never had a situation that I wasn't in the mood until I was in an actual relationship. So now when you're in these marriages and shit like that, it's like, why do I have to continually distract you? We married. Girl, man, yo, she ain't give me nothing in like 2 weeks. Then you go cheat, and now all of a sudden you're wrong. And they'll say, well, a woman withholding sex is not, a man, that's not grounds to cheat. Yes, the fuck it is. Yes, it is. I will need y'all to hear me well. This is for man and woman. Withholding sex, not providing sex the right way. These are grounds for cheating. Do you know why? Because those are means of applying the appealing distraction. They clearly tell y'all, especially women, they say never let your man leave the house with full nuts and an empty stomach. Why? Because somebody's going to distract him with food and sex. Men shouldn't be that easy. It ain't about being that easy. Everybody's easily distracted because nobody knows who the fuck they are. And because nobody knows who the fuck they are, who they're with, they're not really attracted to. They're sitting through a relationship where they have a tolerance for how long they're willing to distract this person and be an appealing distraction. This is why when you start to let yourself go, you're no longer the distraction. You got fat. You don't have abs no more. You need to go to the gym. You need to do this and the third. You know, all of those things will naturally be maintained if that's who you really were as a person and not trying to do it as a distraction or a means to actually love bomb and get people. Yeah, sit with that. Niggas be like, yo, why big girls be getting busted down still? Cause they got good personalities, and a lot of people be thinking that's an insult. You feel me? Oh, that's like calling somebody ugly. You know, that means somebody is genuinely able to be their motherfucking self. You can't compete with somebody who's authentic. You just can't compete with authenticity. There's no distraction from authenticity, because that's all we're looking for in this world. Even so much so, the business models and all that shit, they like, now we want authenticity. Shit that I've been doing for a long time. That's how I know it works. I ain't got no reason to hide the shit. Like, people are buying authenticity now. People are selling false versions of authenticity because, again, it's still playing the how can I pretend, like, I'm gonna give you enough authenticity to distract you and make you. I don't give a fuck about distracting none of y'all, bro. I don't care. I'm here to disseminate the information I gotta disseminate and tell the stories that I gotta tell and give the lessons that I gotta give. And I'm gonna do it the way I need to do it. But at the same time, I've learned and I've observed and I peeped from a different reality that, y'all, this is some fucked up shit. Our relationships were trash. And like I said, this revelation came because the most recent conversation I have, and then dealing with some of the people that I'm dealing with now, I'm seeing it. You feel me? It's like the reason I'm like, you gotta rush. It ain't got nothing to do. And it sucks because as men, it gets harder. Because when they start feeling like they on that biological clock and shit, it makes the love bombing easier. And it makes it justified. It's like, yeah, we trying to close this gap before a certain time. It's like, nah, like I know I'm a wizard. So I know how I can manipulate the body in such a way that you can conceive to menopause. You just gotta know how to recharge the body, which I do. So I'm not worried about, for me, time don't matter. You feel me? But the thing about it is, like, so many people want to show that they're good people rather than being good people. I don't give a fuck if you're a good person or you yourself, because if you're yourself, you'll never violate, you'll never go against you. Like, your goodness is going to come in extension of yourself. You'll never go against you. If you're willing to go against yourself, you're not a good person. That's how I look at life. You feel me? And then when you grow into a space where you're not willing to go against yourself and you only put yourself in things that are beneficial for you, you're a good person. That's it. It's not hard. But so many people want to perform as if they're good. They want to perform as if, oh, I can't let you see nobody else. There's this. I don't give a fuck about competition no more. I beat the game already. I'm literally in a space where now the only thing that matters to me is collaboration. Because I know what I am and I know who I am. So many people come into the new relationships without understanding who they are. Therefore, they can't collaborate. They can only compete. And when they can only compete, they have to provide appealing distractions to motherfuckers. How dangerous is that? Because that's all we have. We wonder why relationships don't work. We wonder why relationships are trash, because each relationship is approached from this dynamic. Why can't we get past the talking phase? Because now we're at a space where nobody wants to give a fuck about distracting you anymore. Fuck you. I know what I got to compete with. And I'm not competing. As opposed to, I know what I have in this world and I'm bringing to this world, and it's what I have to collaborate with. The space that I'm in right now is like, I'm literally coming to terms with it. I'm in a dual nature, because it's like being outside now. I had not been outside as my new self. I have not been outside as the person that I'm built, but I'm hearing conversations with people, and it's like the women that are just like fawning over me and shit, they're trying to distract me. They want to distract me, but when I look at the women that ain't trying to distract me, it's like, yo, can we collaborate? Can we build? What do you do? Like, what can you contribute to this, then the third? That whole what do you bring to the table conversation, that's not for people like us. That's not for people who are well attuned within themselves and they're able to collaborate. You feel me? I'm going to say this and I'm going to really start trying to wrap it up. When you look at relationships, when you look at the overall gist of relationships, you have those people who need to be in relationships and those people who don't. They call themselves hopeless romantics. Those are the people who only find solace in themselves when they appease to somebody's distraction. They will literally beat themselves over the motherfucking head to try to justify why a motherfucker is constantly like, what am I not doing? That's making, like, motherfuckers will ask themselves what they're not doing to distract the motherfucker who doesn't want to be kept. You feel what I'm saying? As opposed to sitting back and saying, you know what? Who the fuck am I? Because who am I and who I need to be in this world needs to come out and emerge. And then that's when I'm able to see who the fuck I'm supposed to be involved with. Relationships are not hard. We just don't relate to each other no more. We just provide the best fucking distractions ever. That's why it happens at the expense of, I don't give a fuck about a woman telling me what one man won't, another man will. You think that. You'll never find another me. I'm dealing with retrograde shit. I'm dealing with shit right now where women are coming back into my space and they couldn't find me. Because you weren't supposed to. Because I'm me. You're now going to have to look for that distraction to stop talking, to stop thinking about me. I don't have to look for anything to distract me from you. It gets cold, and I'm saying this again with modesty. It gets cold when the women that, they be thinking, oh, I'm going to play with you. I'm going to ghost you. I'm going to make you put the pressure on me, make me don't do that. Don't do that. Because I'm not being distracted from you. I'm making a conscious choice to fuck with you, which means I will make a conscious choice not to fuck with you. Just as easy. And I think if we understood that a lot more and we got into those conversations, we had those uncomfortable conversations from the jump and realized, how are you approaching this relationship? Do you feel like you have to distract me from something? Do you feel like you have to distract me in such a way that keeps all my attention on you? Because if that's the case, what are you threatened by that I give attention to? You feel what I'm saying? These things that I've had to learn and observe and peep in this game. Being back outside is a beautiful thing because I'm seeing it from a totally different perspective. I don't give a fuck about who can't distract me from shit because I'm in a space now where it's like being my full self and my authentic self on a regular basis consistently, that shit's appealing as fuck. But now you just can't distract me with little mediocre shit. I've grown and I've exceeded so much in life that I have a plethora of things and you got to show me that you can be in these spaces without being intimidated. That's the problem. We do this attracting shit so we can pretend like we're not intimidated by it. I don't have to be distracted from you. I don't want you to try to distract me. I want you to be your full authentic self and attract yourself to me. You feel me? We're so worried about the distraction that we're not worried about the attraction. And the attraction comes with us relating to each other. How much do you really relate to the motherfucker that you want? And this is why I say I respect the women who, and this is the passive rejection that I respect the women who curve me. I respect the women who tell me that because they realize I don't relate to you. And the most that we will be able to do, they didn't say this, but I'm learning what it is. The most that we will be able to do is apply an appealing distraction to one another. That's not sustainable. Because I know there's not. Now, when you're in that space, there's nothing I can contribute to the situation. How you gonna collaborate with me? Of all of the shit that I got going on, how can you really collaborate with me? How can we put our two minds together? What did you collaborate within your own self to bring into this world? Nothing. You're just still walking around, moving through life, trying to provide an appealing distraction. Show you that you're the baddest. Show you that you're the realest nigga. You feel me? And then we listening to motherfuckers from our sister circles and our manospheres, and they're saying the same shit, saying you have to make sure that a motherfucker is willing to distract you at all costs. Because it ain't love. Because with love comes correction. That means, are you really trying to make me better as a person, as a man, as a woman? Are you really putting in the work to make me better? And I don't mean like being hands-on, and that's another part of the appealing distraction. A lot of motherfuckers get hands-on with another motherfucker life. Ooh, I'm gonna help you do this. I'm gonna help you do this. Nah, cut that out. I was on a date and shit. And it wasn't really a date. I ain't gonna say it was a date. We went out to eat. Let me say that. We went out to eat. And, it's plant-based shit. And so where we went wasn't fully plant-based, but they had plant-based options and shit. So I'm getting something to drink. And then it's like, I think it was some pineapple juice or some shit. And the person, she interjected and was like, no, I said, I got this. I said, I said, I can do it myself. And I had to let her know, like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? That happens because women will be in a space where that's their connect. Oh, be my peace. I'm just being your peace. I'm being in my feminine energy. That's not being in your feminine energy. That's being a woman in your masculine energy stepping over me. Fuck. I know how to talk. I know how to tell a motherfucker if I want ice or not. Like, chill. And again, there's no disrespect. There's no disrespect because that is actually a homie. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But because it's a homie and it's like, because it's a homie and it's a space that I was in their area, they were trying to, acclimate. But I'm like, yo, I'm good. I'm a grown man. Like, I got this. And you got to say that. You really got to say that. My brothers, y'all really got to say that shit. The moment you start letting that shit slide, that's where they feel like, oh, that's where I'm in. You feel what I'm saying? That's where I can distract and let them know that I can be there. That whole, yeah, until, when you quiet and your girl cussing the waitresses out and stuff because they got your meal wrong, you don't want to be in that kind of space. Some women are cool with that. But I'm saying that because I had to, like, yo, and it's like, oh, no, I was just saying that because, I don't get ice in my shit, but it's cool. I got this. I can handle this myself. And I had to do it because it's like, if you don't, it's not going to end well. And it's definitely not going to begin well. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to look at it from the full perspective and the full scope of everything that's going on. How many of us actually approach the relationships the way they're supposed to be? And as I'm in this relationship, in this, conversation with this person, and then that's when it kind of got into, you allow me to be myself. Well, I think I know where this is about to go. But I started to see that from a different perspective and understand you're making it so that I don't have to try to distract you. Yeah. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to distract me from anything. Like, you have my undivided attention right now. You have my undivided attention until you don't. You don't have to fight it. You don't have to try to keep it. Because that's not the type time I'm on. I don't give a fuck about you keeping my undivided attention. My attention will be undivided if you show me and you showcase that you are who you really are, and I can see the full expression of who you are. When you show me the box and the image that you want me to see to make you look good, I can't. That's the only place we're gonna go. Like I said, I know women who I can only talk to certain things about. I know women who I can only deal with certain realities on. And it's just like, we're not going to grow because I'm bigger than that. And this is no shot, no disrespect, but it's like, are you bigger than that too, but you're only showing me that's as big as you are. The fuck you want me to do with that shit? I'm bigger than that. You feel me? I was having a conversation, and while we were talking, they were like, yo, how is it that no matter what it is, you can always, know how to converse about everything? I said, let me tell you the secret, because I really like people. Contrary, regardless of whether I fuck with people heavy or not, I really like people enough to, when they show me they're interested in something, their true self is interested in it, I explore it. So when they're talking, they're not talking at me or feel like, no, we're actually able to engage. The problem is some people never prepare for that other side of it. Because they're so used to being performative that they talk and they use the jargons and the conversations or whatever, that when somebody actually speaks back to them, they don't prepare for it. Because we're not necessarily taught to converse in that regard. It's to show that, hey, I'm at this level. Hey, I do this. Hey, I'm in this space. And it's, hey, I'm good enough. I'm qualified enough. And I'm well-rooted enough to make sure that I appeal to a distraction. Thus, I am going to continue to love bomb you, and you're going to like it because, quote unquote, you think it's an attraction. And don't forget to check out Palacafe Clothing, formerly Just Scenes merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all of the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Palacafe Clothing. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Yeah, that's love bombing. I wanted to have this episode because I've been love bombed so much, but I just never realized that I was love bombed. Because again, these women were trying to keep me from They were trying to appeal to the distraction and make sure I only seen them. And I was like, you all I see. The fuck is you doing? Like, you don't have to do too much. But then I realized, why is this the case? Why is this the case? And I had to step back and look at relationships. Because then I got a homie who was telling me about a dude who love bombed her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, because I don't want you to, I got to distract you. I'm going to constantly apply. Now, the more money, the more resources, the more all of this other shit the motherfucker got, you ain't even going to know it's love bombing. You going to think a motherfucker really care. But the real truth is, I want to make sure that I distract you so long and distract you so well that when I can no longer keep this up, you ain't going nowhere because now you're expecting it. Now you realize, okay, this is why I try not to start off strong. They be like, yo, you gotta, how you start the relationship is how you end it. Yeah, I'm nonchalant than the motherfucker. And the motherfuckers be like, I can't stand me a nonchalant man. Women to say that shit. You better learn how to get one, how to deal with one. Because if not, you're going to be dealing with a man who's going to continually trying to appease the distraction and distract you from shit. I'm not trying to distract you from shit. I'm going to be me. When it's time to go with the ebb and the flow, I'm going to do it. I'm a very impactful motherfucker. You feel me? And I realized that, and I've learned that a lot of people that are in the healthy relationships, the ones that work, they're very impactful motherfuckers, and they truly are themselves. And they are themselves, and they come into the relationship like that. But a lot of people still come into this relationship as a distracting piece. That's why y'all can't get past the dating phase. Literally. Y'all cannot get past the dating phase, and you'll never get past the dating phase simply and complexly because you don't know the true depths and the capacity of trying to be yourself in a situation. You don't know how. You only know how to be what you achieved. You only know how to be what your status is. You don't know how to be what your essence is. Therefore, you can't lead with that. You never learn. So all you can do is distract and make a motherfucker, you can appeal to a motherfucker's distraction and call it attraction. You're not. You don't even relate to this motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? I know for a fact my relationships are always going to struggle. For a fact, my relationships are going to struggle due to religion. Because there's not many women who are comfortable enough to admit that they don't fuck with their religion. Because now they still have to realize that they'll appeal. They'll appeal and try to distract. Oh, I'm on this time too and everything. So I realize that, nah, this is some shit that you're going to have to let go. And and I'm not saying you have to let it go to fuck with me in the States, but I'm giving you an ultimatum. I'm saying that you're eventually going to stop letting it go because I'm so deeply rooted into my understanding of this shit that I can't go back. You feel me? I had a woman say, she was telling me about her experience at church. She said, you would have really liked the sermon. What? Why? How'd you figure that? Well, because of what it was talking about and this, that, and the third. I was like, all right, cool, I got it. But that shows you, I didn't need church for that sermon. I understood, I already got it, like planting roots and all this shit. I didn't need that. But for me, it's deeper because I'm not going back into that indoctrination. It's okay. You can't, no, it's not okay for me. I don't think people understand what it means to stand on shit. This was some of the shit that enslaved us, bro. Like, the fuck are you talking about? Nobody wants to address that part. Like that. I don't get it. But like I said, that'll always be a struggle for me because now I don't need you to move in a way that a religious woman moves. But you've only been programmed to remove how a religious woman moves. So now that attention, that attraction, the pseudo attraction, which is really the appeal to distracting me from whatever, you can't distract me from shit. You feel what I'm saying? So now, when you know who you are and you know what you're supposed to be doing in this world, and you realize what can and can't function in that shit, you adjust appropriately, bro. It's not any fucked up shit. You just adjust appropriately. And you adjust so appropriately that you have to look at it from the full scope of, you know what, my nigga? I can't be distracted. That's what a lot of us in our 30s, late 30s, well, mid 30s, late 30s, early 30s, 40s and shit, this is what we're coming to terms with. That first relationship where we performed and we were that appealing and trying to make sure we stayed, we're beyond that. And now we're trying to get back into it, not realizing that our internal wiring has changed to where we're no longer looking to be in a relationship with a motherfucker we gotta distract. But we're taking advice from motherfuckers who are very good at distracting. We're very good. We're taking advice from motherfuckers who are very good at distracting, who don't know that they're building relationships and they're giving advice based off of the understanding of distraction. Look at the podcast space. Look at the advice that they're giving from women. You got to do this. You got to do this. Look at men. You got to do this. A man's going like, everything is about how much you can distract me from seeing somebody else. I don't give a fuck about you being distracted enough to see somebody else. And most of the motherfuckers who have gone through the levels of development that I have, the heartbreaks, and actually, we don't give a fuck about distracting you from somebody else. We give a fuck about being our full selves and whether or not you're going to be inspired or intimidated. You feel what I'm saying? An intimidated motherfucker is likely going to be one of those motherfuckers who are going to largely have to try to one-up you, or they're going to be ones who have to distract you from the very thing. They're going to distract you from living the life that is intimidating them. If they're not inspired by you, they are intimidated by you. And if they are intimidated by you and they're still basing their reality off of that, the attraction being tied to the appealing to, they're going to distract you from the thing that is causing them to be intimidated. And you think you're losing yourself. I'm forgetting who I am. They're slowly pulling you away from the thing that's causing them to be intimidated. I've experienced this shit. You be thinking you losing yourself. You be thinking you hate yourself. You be thinking, no. You're being distracted from the thing that is called, the thing in you that intimidates them. They'll hype you up. Oh yeah, you're maturing, you're growing, this, that, and the third. It's love. That's what happens over time. No. They don't want you to intimidate them anymore, so they're going to take you off your motherfucking pivot. But equally, the inspiration can be the other side because they will distract you into your inspiration. They'll distract you into making sure you only stay in the thing that inspires them. Because in both aspects, they don't know who the fuck they are. I've experienced both worlds of this. The women who I inspire, and it's like, yeah, now because of what I inspire them to, they think that that's where we stay. I'm not going to stay in this space, but they'll make sure that they apply the distractions to make me stay in a space that constantly inspires them. And this isn't just for me. This is how our relationship standards are working. When you think about the quote unquote good relationships, the ones that were just so good, when a motherfucker finds a good vessel to siphon off of because they don't know themselves yet, they're either going to be inspired or intimidated. If they're inspired, like I said, they're going to make sure they distract you into inspiring them. Or they're going to make sure that they're going to make sure that they distract you into not intimidating them. But all in all, you're still not being your full self because you now still operate from the perspective of being love bombed. Because this person doesn't know how to truly love because they can't correct the situation and see the full scope of who you are. And you're not even presenting this full scope of who you are. And that relationship is limited to that box that you both are now subscribing to, whether it be through intimidation or inspiration and vice versa. Don't think that y'all motherfuckers just absolve because we're so wired to the shit. You're going to naturally try to make a motherfucker. If you're intimidated motherfucker, you're going to try to distract them off their pivot because now it's fucking with your insides. Because now you're going to try to make them feel like, oh, nah, this, that, and the third. Case in point, when it comes to my understanding of religion and my expression of religion, that's how people do. That's how the women do. Oh, nah, people, you're intimidated by where I'm at because I had to leave it alone. You feel me? Off the other side of that, I also experienced the inspiration of it because there's women who knew that this is what it was. And they want me to stay in that space because they're scared to study the book. They're scared to study the religion themselves. So they try to siphon off of what I have and what I've already gone over. I see it all. I'm not mad at it either way. But for me, it's deeper than just that attention span. It's deeper than that appeal to distract me into making sure you're good. Nah, I know how to continually be myself and move in a space that the love that I give you is always going to correct the situation. And I think that's what we've lost sight of when it comes to relationships because how much we're wired to appealing, to distracting a motherfucker. And that's what we're calling love. Shit crazy. But this shit long as hell, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And our kids, we need to. The reason why our relationships are like this because we're raising kids to be people pleasers. Our kids are like this. When we don't embrace the duality of our children, and we only want them to be obedient children that are good, that's where we start that bullshit. Because now they're going to appeal to the distraction of who we are. That just translates into the relationships that they have when they develop as they get older. Because that's what they think a relationship is, not that you actually relate to a motherfucker. Go to school and make friends. Make friends that your family will like. Make friends that'll make friends that are going to be beneficial to your life, but you have to understand what a benefit is. Which means you have to understand yourself. But again, we're all programmed to be the same motherfucker. And don't even realize, all men cheat, all men treat women the same. But men don't know how to treat women. You feel me? Like, you don't see the reality in that, the paradox in that motherfucker that sheds light to the truth? We all fucked up, homie. We all fucked up. But it's because we programmed for that. But if we go back and we get our babies straight, our babies can now approach the situation with being aware of, you know what, this person is just providing an appeasing distraction to me. They're not really attracted. They're not really attracted because they don't relate to me. They relate to something that I do that either inspires or intimidates them. And now they either have to control it or try to, do whatever they're doing with it. Make sure our babies are on point because we're the first people that do that to them. Make them feel as if they should be either intimidated or inspired, or we are intimidated and inspired by their freedom, and we either have to sedate it and say, hey, you can't do this, or hey, do more of this because I couldn't do this. I didn't have the chance to do that. That's where that shit starts. What does it develop? The people pleaser or the spiteful motherfucker. And now you go into relationships, and this is what we end up with. So I'm going to go into there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables, and I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.